Okay, now we can slowly start to embellish the case with the designer paper. The paper that I will use is from Fabrica Decor. It's the Ukrainian brand, and this set includes 10 single-sided sheets of 12 by 12 paper. This is the density of the paper, and it's called the Magnolia Sky. So I will start from this piece here in the center, or no, okay, I will start from the panels on the outer side of the case, the longer angled panels, this one, this and this, since we will not be attaching anything to them from the inside. So to cover them with the paper, you will need 4 pieces of cardstock, which measure, let me see, which measure 1 3/8 of an inch by 7.5, and you will make the marks at 1/8 of an inch from the left and the right side of this piece. Then you will trim these off in the following way, from the mark to the corner of that paper piece, okay, like so, in order to get the angled piece of designer paper. So if you do everything right, it will perfectly fit on top of that chipboard panel, which we have here and here, and from the other side. So let's use the wet glue in order to apply this piece here. We will start from that one. Center, and then press to glue it down. Okay, and continue doing this for the rest of the 3 panels. To cover the bottom of the case, you will need a piece of paper measuring 7 5/8 of an inch by 2 3/8 of an inch, and from all the 4 sides you will draw a guideline which is 5/8 of an inch away from each one of the 4 edges. And in the intersection of those lines, you will attach the large brads, 4 of the large brads that you have. I have here several additional embellishments for the case. So in order to place the brads, I'm using here the 1/8 of an inch punch. You can use your crocodile as well. I'm just punching out the circles in the places of the in the places where the lines meet, like this. Okay, now you can slide the bread into those holes. I'm doing like that, and I'm opening the tails of the breads. Okay, just straightening them on against the surface, and keep on doing that until you have all the 4 feet sorry connected to that piece of cardstock, which we will be gluing down to the bottom of the case, like that. Okay, so now here you can use the wet glue, you can use any other adhesive. Once again, this is left to your liking. I think I will use the score tape. From the outside of that cardstock piece, and to the inside I will add some liquid glue. Okay, like this. A little bit of burnishing. Now I will remove the backing. What I like about wet adhesive is that you have several seconds to move the paper and to see if it's aligned properly. You cannot do that with the score tape or any other runner glue, I think it's called, because it sticks down at once. Okay, let's see. Okay, like this, and now I can glue that down and burnish. Great. Okay, now let's do something here on the inside. This piece here measures 1.5 inches by 7.25, and I will glue it down here in the middle. Try to align it really to center it good. Here I will be using the wet glue. Okay, so just see that you have even spacing from the left and from the right, or from the top and from the bottom of the base of the case, and burnish good in order to glue it down really nice. Okay, now you have those panels which were wrapped in the white cardstock. You will glue them down here on the sides, almost very close to the folds where the lids are connected to the base of the case. Okay, so let's do that. And here, guys, really I will use the wet glue once again. Just rely on that more than on score tape in this case. These need to be really, really strong because they will hold the mini album, which will slide on top. Okay, so I'm putting them like this and aligning them according to the piece of the designer paper that I already have on the case. So as you can see, they are really, really close to the fold lines. Okay, just glue them down, press, and let them dry really good before you will try to slide the album into them. Okay, so like this, and we are gluing that down from the other side. Once again, quite close to the score lines of the lids. Okay. I think I need to wipe some excess of the glue here. Okay, now that's fine. Great. So while we work on something else, these two will dry, and that's exactly what we need. So now we will take 2 pieces of cardstock which measure, let me see, okay, which measure 1 3/8 of an inch by 5.5, and once again you will make the marks which are 1 1/8 of an inch away from the left and the right top edge of that piece of cardstock, and you will once again trim the corners according to those marks in order to get the piece which looks like this. So these will go to the inside panels here and here. Okay, but before we attach them, I want to take the elastic band. This is the band that I have here. Let me tell you what's the length. It's about 7.5 of an inch. So what I'll do is this. We need to attach it with the brads to the chipboard cover in order to make it really secure, if you will need to tuck anything behind that elastic band. So I will center it here first. I'll try to position it in the center, and then I will take the Yoo-Hoo glue, and I will apply some glue here in the center of that panel, and we'll glue the elastic band down in that place. Okay, now maybe you will need to wait for a while till it till the glue really catches the elastic band and holds it in place. In the meanwhile, you can do the same from the other side. Just eyeball the center and apply some glue there and attach the elastic band to that area. Okay, leave that to dry for a second or two. Now apply the glue on the cardstock piece, angled cardstock piece that you prepared earlier. and cover the angled panel with that piece of cardstock like this. Center it while applying. Okay, and glue it down. Now you will need a poking tool and a small brad. You will poke a hole. You will feel that you are poking the hole not only in the in the chipboard, but in the elastic band as well. And place that brad inside the hole that you created, like this. Now from the other side, I like to use this tool for rub-ons from Tim Holtz in order to open those tiny tails of the brads and kind of flatten them. Okay, like this. So now it's really secured on the side of the case, that elastic band. So let's do the same from the other side while the glue was drying. We already glued the panel from the left side of the case. Now we will do the same from the right side. Center it and then press to glue everything down. Then once again take the poking tool and about 1¼ inch from the from that seam, poke the hole and put the brad inside the hole like this, and open the tails from the other side of the case. Okay, now this one is also held really tight and nice by the brad, which is secured on the case's panel. Okay, now what we need to do is the following. We will once again use the glue, and I will eyeball where exactly I need to put that. Okay, like this. And here, I don't know, I think I will need to really hold it for a while because I'm applying some pressure here. I stretched that band just a little bit in order to keep that in place. Let me see, we need an additional piece for here. Okay, so I think I will already hold this piece of cardstock and the elastic band together. I will poke the hole while holding these two. Then I will add the brad. Okay, I'm still holding that from the inside. Now I will open the tails of the brad. Okay, here you can see that it's not hanging freely. It's stretched a little bit, and this is what we need. So now I will only add the glue here from this side and from that side. Okay, and I will glue it down like this. Now I will add some glue here at the bottom of the cardstock piece, and I will finish off the gluing. Okay. Like so. Now the same thing from the other side. I have to trim the corners here first. Okay, so you know what, I might even not need to glue it down here because I'm still holding it, right? Okay, so I will be holding it like this and align the piece of the designer paper here in the center. Now we will poke the hole, and while still holding everything together, I will put the bread. Inside. Okay, like this, and opening the tails. Now once the tails are open, everything is holding really nice. So I will add a little bit of glue here at the bottom and to one side. Of that paper piece. As well as to the other side. Okay. A little bit here, and we are done. Okay, everything is glued down. What we do next? Now we can apply the paper on to the front side of the case on the shorter angled panels. And we are using the paper pieces, which are 1 3/8 of an inch by 5 1/2, with the marks 1 1/8 of an inch away from the left and from the right top corners. We are trimming that down like so, and as a result we get 4 angled panels which will go on the sides of our case here. Okay, so once again I will be using the wet glue for the purpose of gluing them down. Now before we actually we already can cover the shorter outer panels with the designer paper as well, and I have here 4 pieces of cardstock which measure 5 5/8 of an inch by 1 1/8. You can glue them down here and here, and from the other side as well. I think those are already dry, so we can try to slide, just to try that everything is working. We will try that piece. We'll see how it slides in from the bottom here. Okay, it's really snug now. Okay, but it works. Really, guys, it's important that you place those pieces really close to the edges of the central bottom piece of the case. Okay, if you want it to work, of course. Okay, so it's working. That's great. We will set this aside for now. We don't need that right away. So now let's continue. Okay. We have these panels here to cover with the paper, and for the purpose of that you will need four pieces of cardstock which measure 1 3/8 of an inch by 7.5, and once again at the distance of 1 1/8 of an inch you will make the marks, and you will trim the corners down from the right and from the left side. You will glue them down here from the inside. Okay, so let me do that. Okay, so now it's done as well, and we can move on to attaching the cardstock pieces to the top of the suitcase panels, and to the part where we attach the handles. By the way, I wrapped some hemp cord around the handles, and I will provide the link to the tutorial on YouTube which I used for doing that. Okay, so what are we doing now is this. Of course, we will first glue down the cardstock pieces, I mean the designer paper, and these will measure 7 5/8 of an inch by 1 1/8. Covered the cutouts that we've created for the handles on the front side. We still have them on the inside of our suitcase. So what you do is the following. You will take the precision knife and you will kind of find those cutouts. Once again, you will make the cuts from the inside of the panel, and you will see that the designer paper can be easily cut once again in order to kind of create those cuts from the outer side of the case. Okay, so do it like so, and then use your poking tool once again in order to expand the slids. Okay, like this. Now take your handle, slide the holding piece of cardstock into the D-ring, and slide the whole piece through that opening that you cut out on top, like this. I think it's better to slide it all the way through till the D-ring reaches the surface of the case. Okay, from the other side, now it will be very important to flatten the tails of the holding piece of cardstock, to flatten them as much as possible. Okay, like that. Then I think that it will be nice to use some glue in the meanwhile. We will be attaching them with the brads. We will add the brads here and here, but still, just for some extra security, apply the glue on those tails and glue them down. I think I need to hold the paper for several moments because the paper is really thick here and it needs some moments to hold. Okay, like this. So now the same thing from the other side. I'm sliding that piece of cardstock that I have, and then sliding it to the opening. You might apply a certain amount of force in order to put it inside. Okay, now it's inside. That's good. And I hope that this way of attaching the handles will really work. I'm doing that for the first time. So let's hope together. Okay, so once again I will apply some glue here on this tail and this tail, and I will glue this down by holding for several moments. Okay. Well, apparently there is not enough of glue. Okay, I will leave that. Let's do the same from the other side. We will make those cuts in order to find them. Okay, now I can take this away and I will use my poking tool in order to create those openings from the outside of the case. Okay, great. The second handle, we repeat the process. Slide the handle in like so. Okay, and flatten the tails. Okay, I think I will give up on the idea of adding glue. Here I need to cut this just a little bit because I need to straighten it. Okay, almost. Well, this step is quite difficult, but take your time, guys, and do it properly. Okay, like that. Okay, everything is inside. Let's just try to flatten them. As much as we can. Okay. Now let's think. I'm going to use this type of closures, and they were of the bronze finish. I added a little bit of gesso on top in order to match them to the to the white color of the cardstock that I'm using, and to the pale shades of the designer paper. So let me think. If we will put them here and here, let's see how it will look like, because we will be also adding brads here, don't forget. So I just want to think where exactly I will position the locks. I think this way is fine. Okay, so now let's then add the brads to the to the handles. I'm just eyeballing it, guys, something like 1/8 of an inch from that D-ring. I'm sliding a brad in to that hole that I've created, and I open the tails from the back side. Now using that tool for ribbons in order to flatten the tails of the brad. And I do the same thing from the other side of the handle, like this. Once again, the brad goes inside. And we open the tails from the inside, from the back side, I mean, of the panel. I flatten them. This is what we have. This is how it needs to look like. Okay, and this is the front. So let's do the same for the remaining areas. handles are securely attached to the case. Great. So far this is how it looks like. Now I have several more of embellishments that I want to use here, and I also covered them with gesso. And I'm going to use that flower. I'm still not sure how, but well, I want it. Okay, so I have these 4 filigree pieces here. I covered them with gesso, as I already told you, and now I will fold them like this. I will form a straight angle, and I will apply them to the corners like this. I will add a brad here. So I will poke a hole. Okay, I will cover the brads that I'm using here with the gesso as well a little bit later. Okay, now I will flatten the brad, and I need one more brad here. So basically what we have to do right now is to think about all of the embellishments that we need to attach from the outside of the case. And once everything is done and you don't need to attach any more brads, you will cover the inside panels with a designer paper, and you will attach the lips to 1/2 of the case. So let me quickly attach those corners, and I will be back. Okay, so now I've attached the corners here, and I've also attached some more metal embellishments on the side panels from both sides of the case. Now I want to glue down the central, the cardstock on the central panels of the case. For now from the outside only, because I still don't know what kind of the embellishments I will use, and maybe I will need to attach them with the brads. So this piece here measures 3 1/8 of an inch by 5 1/8, and I'm centering it and only then gluing it down. Okay, and from the other side as well. Now I want to attach the closures. Well, looks pretty nice in pastels too. Okay, but before attaching the closures, okay, let's take the lips here, the short lips, which are 5 1/2 by 1 5/8. What I did is I took a strip of cardstock. This one is 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by 5 3/8. You have the size here. And for the other side, I took a piece of designer paper which measures 1 1/2 by 5 3/8 of an inch. So I did that with both of the lips, and now we will attach them in the following way. Or actually, wait, we have the long lip as well, and the designer paper, which I glued down here, is 7 1/2 by 1 1/2 of an inch, and the strip here is 7 1/2 by 1/2 inch. So basically this needs to be glued down here, but since we still haven't attached the latches, Okay, let's see how we do that. Okay, you know what? No, let's put the lips aside. Let's concentrate now on the closures. I will use the rubber band that I have here just to hold it closed for a second so that I could mark the places for the holes where I will put the brads for the latches. Okay, so okay, this is how we do it. One will be here, and while you are holding it, take a pencil and mark the places for the future brads. I think here I will need to use some brads from Tim Holtz, which are called the long fasteners. Okay, I found them. These are the ones that I meant, and I will use the plain silver finish brads because anyway I will be covering them later with gesso. Okay, so let me separate those two pieces. I already poked the holes in the marked places. Now we'll only take the brads and we'll attach them here. Like this and like this, and let's flatten the tails as we usually do. Okay, where is that second piece? Okay, here. Okay, so let's try it out like this and like this. Okay, almost done. This is how it looks like so far. Okay, now there is one more thing that I want to attach here, and it's the flower. And let me check that it's centered, and I will just add a tiny brad. And put it here. Okay. Now guys, we can glue down that long lip and shorter lips to the sides of one half of the case, and you decide which side it will be. I think if I want it to open this way, so I will attach it here. So I will start from the long one first. Okay. Once again, you are free to use the score tape for this. I want to use the wet glue. I just like it more. Okay, one will go right here, all the way to the bottom. I think I will use some paper clips for that to hold it, just to hold it in place right now, while I will be gluing down the rest of the panels. I think I will use some stronger glue here for those panels. Stronger than tacky, I mean. Okay, one will go here. Pay attention that it will be glued down really close to that one, to the long one. And let the adhesive do its job. Don't try to close it right away. Let it dry first. I think I have some excess of the glue here. I think you can use the hot glue as well for doing that. Well, on the third one, I think I will use the hot glue. Yes, yes, yes. We are trying out all the options. And I think, guys, the hot glue will be the best option for this. Okay, so while the pieces here dry out, I will cover the side panels from the inside with the designer paper that I have here. And let me tell you the sizes. The long one here is 1 1/8 of an inch by 7 1/2, and the short ones are 1 1/8 of an inch by 5 1/2. So I will glue down the short ones first. done now. Okay, so now let's attach that final piece. I will remove the paper clips, and let's see that we still can close that thing. Yes, we can. Okay, it's aligned here and here, and we only need that lip for this side in order to make it look perfect. So let's do it quickly. Okay, I will attach it this way. So I will apply the hot glue here. Well, I need to work fast. And here we have it. I have a little bit of an excess here, so I need to remove it while the glue is not fully dry. Not fully dry and cold. Okay, like this. Great, the rest is attached properly. So let me just take this out. This piece out. It really bothers me. Just a second, guys. Okay. Now it's attached. Alright, so now let's try to close it. Where is the tip? Okay, when the mini album will be inside, it will look a little bit different, but it's okay. So far, this is the case. Now we need to work on the album, which will go inside. And we also need to work on the decoration of the outside of our case. So let's move on to that part. Okay, I will put the rail piece here inside for now. I don't want to lose it. And the album will go here, and it will be closed this way. Oh, and I had those pieces of cardstock for the inside of the lids of the suitcase. This is the size of those cardstock pieces. They will go just here behind the elastic bands. One from this side and the other from this side. So I can keep them here for now. Okay, so we are continuing to work on our project.